Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatsMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, today is Friday. Friday is the Patreon vote day where they get to pick out one of a few maps that I offer to them. Today's map was one of said maps. It was a request map by the creator and has won at a canter, so fantastic. It's a really good looking map, has one or two tiny things that I would like possibly tidied up and cleaned up, but other than that I think it's actually going to suit a good few of you. Plenty of build locations and it looks amazing too. But before we have a look at anything that's amazing, let's have a look in the mirror because you are amazing, and if you like being amazing, show your approval now please. That's right, being absolutely amazing really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's map is Elysium River Valley by Captain Alex. We have done Captain Alex back in the past, but I haven't got my notes in front of me, so just take my word for it. There's your start square. We've got a little bit of a national road coming off of the highway there. That'll work absolutely fine. And then your terrain heights, well, it's a river valley, so it's going to be like a valley with a river in it. And then off to the resources. The resources, I like these actually. Lots of fertile land downstream and or upstream. Big fan of that. Off to the workshop, it's a mass transit and park life, although park life won't actually break your map if you don't have it. You'll just be lacking some of the prettiness. We've got a whole bunch of things to subscribe to, including Theme Mixer, because we're using the SCT Rocky Shore theme mixed in with the Owls Mediterranean alternative, and we'll be using the Relight Bleak LUT. And like I say, a few things to subscribe to as well. So, okay, it's quite a nice, pretty map, and there are some really lovely little features tucked in and about on this map as well. For example, just little things like this. Simple little things like that. Now, you may notice some of those vanilla rocks along the muddy banks, and it's been pointed out in the description that if you use prop snapping, these will start floating, which maybe they will. And sometimes there's a benefit to having floating rocks, because like I said, if you've got some rocks actually on your highway, like that one we just passed there, or there's a couple down here as well. Yeah, that would get the rock off of the highway, wouldn't it, I feel? Yes, tongue-in-cheek. Oopsie, little detailing error there. So yes, we are using a mix of the Stray Cat theme and the Rocky Shore. And we've got a little hint of Owl's Alternative Mediterranean. I think the combination works very nicely indeed. Brings the whole thing to a nice little gleam. A good theme combination is very nice indeed. And that's Theme Mixer 2. If you want a little search for that, if you're not already using it, highly recommended. There is also the Vanilla Tree Remover is one of the required LUTs. It gets rid of LUTs mods, not LUTs. It gets rid of the vanilla trees from like the custom assets, and you'll see a bit later on a couple of the the vanilla burnt out shacks without the trees, and that's great. However, if you are going to use that mod, be aware if you use Traffic Manager President Edition, nice little bridge again, everything's perfect so far there. Well, it's not compatible. That will break your game if you have Vanilla Tree Remover and Traffic Manager side by side. And trust me, I did actually try loading up the map with both to see, even though I don't really use Traffic Manager, I normally just have it on in the background. Well, it just loaded up the map with, no trees at all. Removed everything. And so basically, you don't really want that, do you? Right, down to a bit of a croak, sorry about this. Oh, sorry about that. Suffering today again. Yes, the start square intersection. I'm okay with this, I think that would just about do the job. It's not going to handle a vast amount of traffic, but of course you can upgrade when you get to that sort of level of traffic. But it's very tidily done for what it is, and I just don't get the feel, don't get the vibe that this is a great big Manhattan style city waiting to be built. Yeah, a smaller city, a good size city possibly. Now we're entering Start Square territory. Oh, my English is really struggling today. Start Square territory, and again, it just looks really nice down here. Really enticing. We'd love to have one of the first little houses and then not allow any planning for any more down here. That'd be pretty damned cool, wouldn't it? Anyway, we'll fall back. There's your Start Square. Happy with that? Yeah, good. And we've also got an asset. Who would have thought there would be an asset, huh? Yes, it's the St. Regis Hotel by Lightfooted. This is freaking glorious. Honestly, the closer you get in, the more details you see with this. It's really lovely. Factoids because factoids. Benjamin Franklin. Heard of him? I think so. One of America's most loved heroes who helped to write the Declaration of Independence. Was born on this day, January the 17th, in 1706. It must not be forgotten that one of his greatest other achievements was the invention of the rocking chair. Wow. I mean, that is some claim to fame, isn't it? I heard he was off his rocker, but maybe not that much. Oh, I'm just kidding. Benjamin Franklin, hero to all Americans. Bless you, sir. Okay, right, so one little last look at the Regis Hotel. I haven't seen much from Lightfooted lately, and then they come back with something as glorious as this. Great work, Lightfooted. Great work indeed. And we'll head back to the roads and the highways. Now, there's highways going all over the map. I did actually record, well, not all over the map, but like I say, a national highway network that cuts across the map as well. And I did record that, and my footage was corrupted. I didn't have time to reload the map, I'm afraid. So that little highway jaunt across the map, well, it's gone, I'm afraid. Having said that, we'll talk about that in a bit more detail, but not before we have a look at this intersection here. It's one of these like wishbone style, but smoothed out, sleeked out. It looks very nice again, looks really good. Traffic needs to be flowing nicely, but I would suggest that maybe that street lamp is an oversight. Possibly. Maybe it's supposed to be like that. If it is, I take it all back. Alright, and then we'll head off in towards the fog, and then we'll have a little look at the rail. Now, the rail is at eyeball checking perfectly fine. It looks smooth. There isn't any incline. It's a gentle gradient. It's slightly steeper than it would appear at first glance once you have the lines of terrain switched on, but it's well within tolerance of a standard Cities Skylines game player. So I just sort of mention that this is obviously very flat. It's a nicely done bridge there, and then we'll head in towards the hills because we have to get some elevation up for a feature in a few moments time. So yeah, now we're going to start the gradient. It's not stupidly steep, but it is there, and it's a bit steeper than real life. If you're looking for real life, this will disappoint you. Having said that, it doesn't bother me at all because within the context of the game. Now, speaking of gradients and that footage that I lost, switchbacks going up into the hills. We have seen switchbacks in the past that have done this. We've done it a lot worse than this particular map. This map hasn't done too bad, but there is a little bit of going uphill and then coming back downhill a little bit before going back uphill again. Oh, just love this bridge. High point of the map. Definitely going to be the thumbnail. That is excellent work. You see, this is why we had to gain the elevation so we could have that in place. I think it was well worth the journey. So yes, switchbacks. Somebody's asked me to make a switchback tutorial. I need to do a little bit more research on real life switchbacks before I actually start telling people how to make them. But yes, there are some really good switchbacks done by some creators in the game. Today's switchbacks in the hills, which you don't get to see, they're fine if you don't switch the lines of terrain on, because then you do notice there is a little bit of up and down going on, which is not what the plan is. Anyway, off into the fog, which means it's time for an intermission, then we'll come back for the shipping.
Are your soggy little Sims constantly getting even more soggy? Are you continuously drowning your trees and soaking your city? Then you need BonBonB's flood management tutorial. Click the information button now.
And so back to the shipping routes. And surprisingly, we actually do have a shipping route. But it's also a good one. Because it actually comes up the river like this. And it kind of stops right there. So it just about enters the playable area. And if you want to do shipping up and down the river, you can. It's not the most hideous thing in the world. Water flow. Water flow, again, this map feels realistic. And I would want the water to be realistic. But we got some upstream water there. That's still going upstream at that point there. And then this is all downstream again. And we are going down where the river, this is your start square kind of area down here. And there is water flow through the start square. But you can see it's coming upstream there. And so it's all sort of like milling in the Oxbow Lake. Very strong upstream there. It's very confusing and not ideal, but not broken. But there we go. Right, we got some nice work going on here. As I say, I love the mix of themes. I think it's a lot of time has been spent choosing a combination that works really well indeed. This really does work. Really like it a lot. And all credit for the time spent actually finding a combination that works. We got some really nice feature areas as well. This one I don't really fully understand, okay, but it's a nice feature area. And that is this lake. And we can have a little BonBon Island over here with the burnt out hut without the trees on it, which is quite nice. And then, yeah, I'm buying into that. That looks perfectly realistic as well. Then over here, we've quite a strong waterfall, bringing a lot of water into this into this lake. Good grief, my English. And I don't buy into the amount of water that is going into that. Where's that water going in that lake? It doesn't feel like a sort of lake that would have an underground tunnel piping it out into the river. Maybe there is. But I quite like the water spawn point up there as well. I don't buy the amount of water coming down that, but it's a nice feature and it's been done exceptionally well. There's those switchbacks which I've got problems with. Down here, on this little peninsula down here, this is a nice little detailed area as well. Using the Park Life path, you can follow down through the woods and you get down to a little village, little like a fishing village possibly. And again, nice tidy detailing going on down here, completely buying into this. This is a really pretty little area as well. And again, using the vanilla assets without the vanilla trees does look really good indeed. Again though, to do that, you have got to forego Traffic Manager President Edition, which I know a lot of you rely on 100%, and I don't blame you. Right, okay, so we've looked at that, although we haven't looked at that. Oopsie daisy. This is a nice area as well. Again, nice to see some nice little feature areas, and I think there's some really good work down here with the water foam decal. Let's say we've got the steam vents coming up as well. And yes, I completely buy into these. Obviously, you're not supposed to get in that close with the camera because the decals do glitch out. But I think it's been done really nicely indeed. I'm a huge fan of this area, and full credit. This is a 4 3/4 star area down here because it's just unique. Not seen that done before, and Captain Alex has done a great job of it. But anyway, what do you think of this map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewers' Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. What do I think? I think it's well up there. I think it's going to be well up there. Has a few minor faults, but I don't think you're going to mind that much. Okay, aesthetically, it looks pretty damned fine. Okay, it's a realistic map with some unrealistic features, and the unrealistic features kind of take it away from me, so I'm going with 4 stars, but it's a very high 4 stars. Very nice. Detailing, it's somewhere between 3 and 4. Do I go 3? But do I say basic is 4 stars, but I punish it down to 3? I'm going to say, yeah, no, I'm going to go 4 stars because I'm going to punish the gameplay. So 4 stars for detailing because it is very nice across the whole with a few minor little issues. Gameplay potential, mods issues aside, yeah, it's very, very, very playable. But I think because of the instructions to use the vanilla tree remover and so forth, it's a complex issue. I'm going to go 3 stars because it is still very playable, but I think it has just taken the shine off of it a little bit for me. Elysium River Valley by Captain Alex looks glorious, and an experienced player will have no issues turning that into a 5-star gameplay. A lesser player, someone who's maybe just making their second city, will not know what's going on and wonder why everything is broken and will start crying, like I probably would have done. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, for commenting, for liking, and for subscribing. Tonight we have Map Fix. Tune in for that one. And of course, don't miss all my other stuff on my second channel. I've been BonBonB. You've been very, very welcome.